It is not our darkness that frightens us, it is our light and the power that it represents. Hello everybody, how are you? My name is Ezinne You, and I'm here today to talk to you again. So, who has signed up willingly and vowed to pay the price for success and the UpYou life? Oh yeah, I see that. Yeah, I'm so glad that so many of you are taking up the challenge and deciding to sign up for the UpYou life. Thank you. You just make it so worth my time to come here every time to record a video and to share it with you. Thank you. You bless me so. So moving on. Today we're going to be talking about soak up. SOAKUP. Soak up. And as usual, I'll read from our manual, UpYou. The best advice I ever got was that knowledge is power and to keep reading. David Bailey. Back in our university days, we would sometimes run out of money to the point that it would become difficult to even buy food from the cafeteria or other eating places. Rather than starve, we would resort to drinking garri. This was generally considered a poor person's bailout meal. We even perfected a process whereby we would soak the garri in water for a prolonged period and it would swell up and increase significantly in volume, because it would have absorbed all the water. This special method was known as soak and travel. The result after a few minutes was quite amazing. The little portion of garri would rise quite dramatically to fill up the bowl. Similarly, a mind once expanded can never go back to its original state. Let's gist. How many of you have done soak and travel before? And I don't lie. I know. I did it in my university days. When money will finish everywhere, you can't go home and tell your parents that you're broke. How can you be broke when they give you money for a whole semester or a whole 1 month of a semester? So, babes will gather together and soak garri and let it just rise. And then after a while, you will come back and you find that the garri has risen and enough for all of you to eat and be able to go about your business that day. It's the same thing with your mind. Your mind is what propels you. You are a product of your mind. The mind is a good servant but a terrible master. So, it is what you feed your mind that it gives you back to output. So if you feed your mind positivity, you feed your mind great thoughts, you feed your mind big ideas, you give your mind the big pictures, guess what? When you need it, the mind brings you what? All those things that you give it. But if you give your mind negativity, you give your mind criticism, you give your mind envy, you give your mind backbiting, guess what? That's what the mind will give you when you need it. You know, it's just like the rubber band. I think I've used this analogy before, but I'm going to use it again. The rubber band that women use to hold their hair. You know, it's tight the first time you get it, but then you put your hand in the middle and then you expand it and then you hold it to take it to hold your hair. Then when you're done with what you're doing in a day or something and you want to undress, you pull it off again. You will notice that it can never ever go back to that original size that it was in the first time. And that's the same thing that happens to your mind. A mind that is once expanded can never go back to its original state. And you do yourself a great disservice when you do not feed your mind. You see, the way you wake up in the morning and then you eat breakfast, then you eat lunch, then you eat dinner for your body, you also have to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner for your mind. And because the mind is the one that superintends the body, it's even more important that you deliberately feed your mind. There's a lot of noise in our world, for instance. A lot of noise. A lot of us cannot even sit down in a room for 1 minute without having 750,000 different thoughts come into our mind. We can't keep our mind empty enough for the mind to tell us what to do. Listen, your mind knows a lot. That's the realm that is called the supernatural. You just have to keep feeding your mind. You know, there's a saying that goes, if you want to hide something from an African, put it in a book. True as that may be, we just have to read. What the books do for us is that they give us experiences that we don't have to live ourselves. The books enable us to perch on the shoulders of giants and see what they saw, and even see further than they saw. You don't have to start out your journey digging in the trenches just like I did. If, for instance, you get a copy of my book, you take all of the 20-something years that I have been digging, that I've been chasing a dream, you get it all in a book. And then you're equipped to do what? To start your journey, to run on your journey. So if you come across where I found a pothole, you say, aha, she found a pothole. And so you're better prepared that you might find a pothole instead of going out blindly on your own. There's several good books that you can read. You need to soak up your mind. The mind likes the challenge of you feeding it. When you feed your mind, and you feed your mind, trust me, when you need something, the mind gives it to you. So you don't begin this journey without soaking up about your dream. Read and read widely about this dream that you want to pursue. I had mentioned in another video that you need 3 hours of dedicatedly doing something about something to become a master. So if you want your mind to become eclectic, to become electric, to give you the ideas and the solutions you need, you've got to feed it for a minimum of 3 hours every day. And luckily for you, and luckily for all of us, we live in the modern time, so you can actually do the audiobooks, you can do the reading, and get all the knowledge you need. But you need to do what? Soak up. So starting from right now, begin to devour information and knowledge like it was going out of fashion. Soak it up. Soak it up. Because you come across to your would-be customer as intelligent and knowledgeable. Thank you very much for listening to me once again, and I enjoyed talking to you. As always, my job is to sit here and keep going up you, up you, up you, up you, up you, until I see you on the UpYou journey and on the UpYou life. And until I come your way next week, take care of you now, and bye.